Hello everyone, SlayerCoon here. My god, it has been such a long time since I've done a live stream. I'm talking about like a year and a half or something like that. How are y'all guys doing today? I'm doing... I don't know, I'm not doing so well. But it doesn't really matter, because I'm planning on having a really good time doing my first ever live stream in like a year. You know, I wasn't really expecting many people to show up to this stream today. You know, I'm always worried about, flops. You guys have probably heard about me complaining about that for, I don't know, a year and a half as of now. SlayerCoon just isn't as popular as he was back in 2018. Yeah. Enough rambling, though. Today I'm going to be playing some Half-Life 2. Why Half-Life 2? I don't know. I couldn't think of any other game to play. Alright, here we go. So yeah, Half-Life 2. What else can you say about this game? When this game came out back in 2004, it basically blew everyone's minds. And even to this day, it still blows minds with how amazing it is. It's safe to say that this game hasn't aged all that much, despite being like 15 years old. Now, I'm gonna be honest here, I'm not a big first-person shooter guy, but Half-Life 2 still resonates with me even though I largely hate first-person shooters. I think it's just the pacing, the graphics, the level design, the characters, the story, pretty much everything. I'd argue that it's one of the few truly perfect games out there. Might end up doing a review on it sometime in the future. But yeah, we're gonna start a new game. Here we go. I'm just gonna remain quiet while this iconic intro plays out.
Freeman, rise and shine. Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job. No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world would have gone to waste until... well, let's just say your hour has come again. The right man in the wrong place can make all the difference in the world. So wake up, Mr. Freeman. Wake up and smell the ashes.
Alright, I'm gonna change the audio so I can hear myself speaking. Let me check and see. I think the aspect ratio... no, the aspect ratio looks good on my end. It's kind of a tricky thing with OBS. You don't know how things are gonna look until, you're streaming. Alright, someone says that you shouldn't worry about flops all that much as long as you enjoy what you're doing. That's all that matters. I agree with that. I think too many people on YouTube, all they really care about is views, you know? Trend chasing. I'm not all about that, you know? I like doing what I love. As stated, the reason I do reviews is I just got bored of my, my bad YouTuber series. But yeah, we shouldn't be talking about this, we should be talking about Half-Life and how fucking amazing it is. So here's my story with Half-Life. I never played this game until 2015, which is a good 11 years after it first debuted onto the scene. Now, I do remember one time when I was like 10 years old, going into my older brother's room. He's an avid PC gamer at the time, and I think even now he still is. I saw a physical copy of this game lying around on the floor. I didn't know what Half-Life was, because that's my first encounter with this game, prior to the internet. But yeah, I don't think time really matters in this game, because you could play this 20 years after its release and still feel amazed by it.
Don't drink the water. They put something in it to make you forget.
I know, it's the stuff that turns frogs gay, right?
Welcome. Welcome to City 17. You have chosen or been chosen to relocate to one of our finest remaining urban centers.
You know, one thing I hate about live streaming is, you know, the more you talk, the drier your mouth gets. And that makes you feel all thirsty. And then you start drinking, and what happens when you drink? You need to piss. This is a thing that happens in a couple of my previous streams from well over a year ago. I'd keep having to take breaks to go to the bathroom, because I have like a really small bladder and I piss a lot. But enough about piss. Hey SlayerCoon, have you ever played Sly Cooper? Nope, I haven't, but good news, everyone. You guys know my story with the PS2, right? The fact that I never had it during the PS2 era. What am I saying? As I'm trying to say, I didn't have a PS2 back in the 2000s. Fuck me. I'm sorry, guys. I just am not good at talking when I'm trying to concentrate on playing the game. What should I do? Should I concentrate on the game or concentrate on the fucking chat? I don't know. I'm a moron. Fuck you, Barney.
I had to put on a show for the cameras. I've been working undercover with civil protection. I can't take too long or they'll get suspicious. I'm way behind on my beating quota.
Barney, what is it? I'm in the middle of a critical test.
Sorry, Doc, but...
Yeah, but as I was saying, you know, I just recently ordered a PS2 off of, like, eBay. Got it for, like, $60. And with it, I bought Gran Turismo 3 and 4.
I'm thinking.
But yeah, I should give the Sly Cooper games a shot because, well, raccoons are cool and whatnot. And I'm a cringy gay furry, so of course I'm gonna like it.
Listen, I gotta go, Doc. We're taking enough chances as it is.
Very well. And, Gordon, good to see you.
Okay, Gordon. You're gonna have to make your own way to Dr.
I'm gonna stop throwing stuff at you, Barney. I apologize for that.
Man, that's what I was afraid of. Get in here, Gordon, before you blow my cover. Pile up some stuff and get through that window. Keep going till you're in the plaza. I'll meet up with you later.
So yeah, the thing about Half-Life 2 is it's associated with PC gaming. PC elitists, or you know, just gamers in general, look up to this as the magnum opus of PC gaming and first-person shooters in general. But it was also released on consoles, such as the original Xbox, the 360, and the PS3. But let's be honest here, there's no reason in playing those versions. I mean, you can't mod it. The graphics aren't as good, the frame rate is inferior. This game was simply made for PC. Even now, I feel like if they were to re-release this on PS4, they'd somehow fuck up the frame rate and make it play at, like, I don't know, 30.
Do our benefactors really know what's best for us? What gives them the right to make this kind of decision for mankind? Will they ever deactivate the suppression field?
You know, the thing about PC gaming is I'm not an elitist, you know. I play both consoles and PC pretty frequently. You know, it just depends on the kind of game, you know. Some games are exclusive and I can't get them on PC, so, you know. Sometimes a game is not compatible with my PC, or it's just way too intensive for my system. Anyways, Half-Life Alyx. Someone's already asking about that. Well, here's the thing. Half-Life Alyx, which is the new Half-Life game planned to release next year. Yes, they're making a new Half-Life, if you can fucking believe that. Is a VR exclusive. So if you don't have $300 to dish out on a VR set, you're pretty much fucked. Which really sucks, because there's a lot of people who've been waiting for a new Half-Life game. We all know about the Half-Life 3 confirmed memes. It's honestly Valve's fault for just abandoning the series. You know, for years it's been like they don't even think it exists anymore or something like that. You know, you get a feeling that a lot of developers nowadays don't even really like their games much anymore. All they really care about is money, and that's so sad. It seems like Nintendo are the only ones who are, you know, aren't screwing up all the time nowadays. It's just really sad, because Valve has made some of the most iconic games ever, and yet they just sleep on them. They know they make billions of fucking dollars from other shit, so they just don't even care about making games anymore. I mean, when was the last time Valve made a game? It was like Dota 2 or something like that. And Dota 2 is not my kind of thing. I am really obsessed with fucking throwing things. Fuck you, Mr. Breen.
He's one of us.
I'm gonna be honest, I think Half-Life 2, even to this day, still looks pretty damn good. Obviously, it's dated in many aspects, like texture quality. The poly counts on certain characters definitely look dated. Don't look bad, but it just doesn't hold up to a lot of games over the past decade or so. But when you compare it to other games released in 2004, like GTA San Andreas, this still looks really good.
Take it anymore.
I mean, I already pointed out in my GTA San Andreas review that that game graphically doesn't hold up in almost every aspect. It looks pretty ugly by today's standards, and even for the time. When this came out in 2004, this was basically one of the best looking games out on the market. But it wasn't all just graphics, it was gameplay and immersion as well, so, you know, it all fits together perfectly.
Get in here, quick! Keep moving! Head for the roof!
Alright, someone in the comments section is saying, I should tell the chat about myself. Well, a lot has happened this year. The main reason I haven't done a live stream in so long is mainly because my life has just been frantic. This year has just been a really shitty year for me. It's not been enjoyable for the most part, and even now, even though things are getting better, some things just aren't fun. Like, I have a job now, and I fucking hate it. But I do enjoy the fact that I get money. Because I've been broke most this year, you know? And I'm not the only one who's broke. It's all my appliances in the fucking house that are breaking too. Like, my PC fucking had its graphics card die on me back in April, and I had to go 4 months where I couldn't play games on my PC. I could barely fucking run the thing, so...
No, you don't.
Yeah. I'm glad that's all since changed, but, you know, whatever.
Dr. Freeman, I presume. We better hurry. The Combine can be slow to wake, but once they're up, you don't want to get in their way.
Anyways, as I was saying, you know,
Dr. Kleiner said
you can go back and watch some of my earlier videos from this
I don't
year,
think it occurred to him that
where I
you-
mentioned the whole graphics card thing. But I do have a new one,
Fans.
which I'm currently using.
Back in Black Mesa?
My PC runs faster than it ever has before. I still can't run the most modern games. Not like I care, because screw most modern games in general. There's barely anything on the market that
Remember him
interests
from Black
me.
Mesa? Your old administrator. Don't get my dad started on Dr. Breen. Through here.
Guys, for those who are asking what my real name is, why do you want to know that?
Funny,
I
you
am
should
not
have
giving
this
out that information. As far as I'm concerned, my name is SlayerCoon, and I am a cringy, gay raccoon.
We've been
I'm a
helping
furry
people stay
bastard
safe.
on the internet that no one watches
Dangerous
anymore.
route to my father's lab through the old canals. Today, we're finally on the verge of having a better way. Here, let me buy you a drink. Oh, and by the way, nice to finally meet you.
Blast that little. Where did she get to?
Okay,
Lamar.
someone's asking me what my favorite band is. I don't know.
Hello, Alex. Well,
I don't really have a favorite anything in particular.
great again.
And when it comes to music, like, my favorite genre is metal music. It should be obvious. Favorite subgenre of metal, I think it'd probably be thrash metal.
I'm wandering around outside.
No offense, but SlayerCoon is the Sly Cooper of YouTube.
Trouble does
The
tend to
only
follow in his wake.
thing about that I understand is that we're both raccoons.
I must say, Gordon, you come at a very opportune time. Alex has just installed the final piece for our resurrected teleport.
I can't take any credit for the breakthrough, Doctor.
Nonsense. Your talents surpass your loveliness.
Let's just see if this thing works, okay?
Well, is he here?
I like how this little hula hoop girl doll is one of the few objects you can't pick up. Whenever you interact with it, it just dances.
It'll jeopardize everything we've worked for.
Don't worry, he's coming with me.
But basically everything else you can just throw around. Like this computer.
Operate the new teleport with a double
I mean, who needs this fat fucking 90s computer anyways? Go fuck yourself.
Nightmares about that cat.
No, there's nothing to be nervous about.
cat?
We've made major strides since
And God, look at this radio.
What cat?
That looks
Doc.
retro, man. That looks pretty fucking old to me.
Oh dear, you're right. I almost forgot. Bonnie?
I know that my mom used to have a radio that kind of looked like this. It was a neo-retro kind of radio that was modeled after the kind of stuff you would have seen back in like the 30s and 40s.
Ah! Damn it, get it off me! Lamar! There you
Oh, Nick Loader, you have a video with over 6 million views?
fear, Gordon. De-beaked and
Yeah, you should feel lucky, because the most famous thing I've ever did is I pissed off a bunch of kids by saying that a YouTuber was bad.
Here, my pet. Up, up.
I think you all know who I'm referring to.
Careful, Lamar. Those are quite fragile. Oh, fie. It'll be another week before I can coax her out of there.
So yeah, SlayerCoon is an extremely obscure YouTuber. If you're a hipster, you'd probably love me. I don't know.
Go ahead.
What even is a hipster anyways?
Gordon, if you please, I'm eager to see if your old suit still fits. I see your HEV suit still fits you like a glove.
The thing is, I'm so unpopular that I only have, like, 2 videos that have over 100,000 views. Most of my videos nowadays average at, like, 500, so... yeah. I'm happy with what I have. The thing is, not many people watch my reviews, but they do have a pretty dedicated cult fan base that really love them. And honestly, that's all I need.
Meanwhile, let's get this show on the road.
Honestly, what the fuck? Okay, that was weird. Honestly, if Valve were to ever make Half-Life 3, I get the feeling that, like, it wouldn't live up to the immense hype. Half-Life Alyx is not Half-Life 3. Let me get that out of the way.
Gordon, why don't you
Basically, let me pause the game and say this. Half-Life 3 has been anticipated for years. There's so little information about it that many people speculate that the game isn't even really in development. Although, Half-Life Alyx might be proving me wrong. Let's be honest here. If Half-Life 3 were to come out, no matter how good it is, people would still feel disappointed with it because it's been so long that there's no way it would possibly live up to the hype. I mean, take a look at what happened with The Incredibles 2. Now, obviously, comparing a movie and a video game, that's kind of stupid, but it's a similar situation where you look at the release of the original Incredibles and then the release of The Incredibles 2. It's been like over a decade, and when that movie finally hit the scene, like, people felt disappointed with it. Not because the movie was bad, but because it couldn't possibly live up to years of hype. That's why if, let's say after Half-Life Alyx, you know, give, you know, Valve a couple months, if they were to announce Half-Life 3, you shouldn't be hyped for it. You should be cautious. I don't think Half-Life 3 would be a shitty game by any imagination, but, it would disappoint thousands of people, no matter how good it is. That's all I have to say about Half-Life 3.
Position yourself near the panel over there and wait for my word.
Isaac, are you there?
Yes, Eli. Bit of a holdup on this end. You'll never guess who found his way into our lab this morning.
That's not who I think it is it?
Indeed it is, and it's our intention to send him packing straight away in the company of your lovely daughter.
Are you ready for us, Dad?
We're all set on this end.
Then let's do it.
Let's see. The massless field flux should self-limit, and I've clamped
Have you guys ever looked at, like, the beta content from Half-Life 2? Apparently this game was gonna have a largely different story and setting. There are many videos of that on the internet that are pretty interesting. I'm obviously not going to go into detail about that because I can hardly speak. My mic sounds like Morse code. What are you talking about? Is there something wrong with my audio? Guys, if anything odd happens on this stream with, like, my audio or whatnot, please let me know. I am using a stand-up microphone as opposed to my, headset.
Very good. Final sequence. Commencing now. I can't look.
You know, the thing about my audio, and this doesn't apply to my live streams, this applies to, like, my videos. There's this point, like, earlier this year where I'd constantly get comments where people think that my audio just sounds like shit. I mean, I get that it doesn't sound all that great, but it doesn't sound terrible to me.
Thank goodness. My relief is
Honestly, one thing that pisses me off with people on YouTube nowadays is
I can't take all
they
the
want
credit.
every
Dr.
video to be like
Gordon proved
insanely overproduced. You know,
right you are.
I'm not all about that, you know.
Good job.
I think
Throwing that switch and all.
there's a certain charm to simplicity.
It really pays for itself.
All right, Barney. Your turn.
Gee, thanks.
Gordon, as soon as you're in position, we'll send you to Eli's.
And not a moment too soon.
But anyways, yeah. I bought myself a snowball microphone.
Initializing in 3.
It hasn't arrived yet, but I do plan on using it in future videos.
Good luck out there, Gordon.
I still expect people to complain about, "Oh, SlayerCoon, your audio sounds like shit." But honestly, fuck those people.
Endeavors. Final sequence. Hell, what is it? It's your pet, the freaking headhopper. Car, steady, no down.
Red Rockin' Gaming asks, would you live stream Gran Turismo 2 again? Yes, but only if I get my emulator to work properly.
What's the meaning of this? Who are you? How did you get in here?
Don't worry, Gordon. We'll
We're losing it again.
The man I saw. I'm all but certain it was Gordon Freeman.
Where is he?
Behind you. Shut it down. Shut it down.
You know, I have to wonder if, like, is teleportation possible in real life? I don't think it could be. And the same thing applies to, like, time travel. I don't think you could time travel no matter the technology. Oh yeah, Gran Turismo 2, as I was saying. I'd like to live stream that game again, because at the moment, Gran Turismo 2 is my favorite video game ever. The only feasible way of me streaming it is through an emulator, and due to technical problems with my computer earlier this year, I've had to re-download my emulator, and there is a bit of a problem with the control setup that I have to iron out. But if I do get that sorted out, I would proudly live stream some Gran Turismo 2. My god, that game is just so fucking amazing.
Hey, Gordon! The Citadel's on full alert. I've never seen it lit up like that. Get out of City 17 as fast as you can, Gordon. You take the old canals, right? They'll get you to Eli's lab. It's a dangerous route, but there's a whole network of refugees, and they'll help you if they can. I'd come with you, but I gotta look after Dr. Kleiner. Oh, and before I forget, I think you dropped this back in Black Mesa. Good luck out there, buddy. You're gonna need it.
Good old handy crowbar. What's my favorite car in Gran Turismo 2? I don't have one. Some favorites from that game would obviously be the R34 Skyline, the Suzuki Pikes Peak, the Mercury Cougar. Those are just a couple of favorites. I think that conversation distracts from Half-Life 2, however, because Gran Turismo 2, Half-Life 2, they're completely different games. They're both games I'd give a 10 out of 10, though. You know? And I rarely ever do that with games. And the thing about 10 out of 10 ratings is, this is something not a lot of people understand, but to me, a 10 out of 10 does not indicate that a game is totally perfect. It does, however, indicate that the game is a must-play no matter your tastes. And yes, I think everyone should play Half-Life 2. Everyone should play Gran Turismo 2. You know, They're just games that everyone has to play sometime before they die. And I feel lucky to have played this game before I die, because it is amazing in every aspect. I can't think of anything that's bad with it.
Stop! We didn't do anything! They'll be looking for you now. You'd better run. There's nothing else you can do here.
Thoughts on Team Fortress 2? What else can I say about Team Fortress 2 that hasn't been said, you know? I haven't played it in years, but, like, I remember playing that game when I was, like, 14, 15, you know? Back on my old laptop. And let me tell you, it was just... it's just an amazing game, you know? It sucks that the game isn't quite what it once was earlier this decade, but... you know, Team Fortress 2 is, in my opinion, the greatest multiplayer shooter out there. There's obviously Counter-Strike, but that has never really interested me. And then there's COD. Yeah, not my kind of thing. Team Fortress 2 is on a whole new level, though. I mean, that game's like... fuck. That game's 12 years old and hasn't really aged one bit. And yes, you're right, Valve does make the best number 2s. Let me list off some of my favorite number 2s in gaming. Gran Turismo 2, Half-Life 2, Saints Row 2, there's probably something else. Those are just the first 3 number 2s that come off my, that pop into my head when I think of great sequels. It just seems like some developers, they perfect their craft with the second game. And Polyphony Digital, Valve, and who made Saints Row 2? Volition. They perfected their crafts respectively with their number 2s. And obviously, as I'm saying number 2, you're probably thinking about shit. But trust me, those games are not shit in the slightest. But, you know, making a sequel is not an easy thing to do, you know, as far as I'm concerned. Making games like this that withstand the test of time, it's not impossible, but it's just really hard to do. I don't know what Half-Life 3 will be like, but I'm not expecting it to be quite as good as this one, or even the first one. You guys should feel lucky that I'm a streamer that actually responds to the chat, you know? I see so many of these people on their live streams who don't give the chat any attention. And I guess they do that just to feel more professional, but I think it's ignoring the people that make up your audience, you know?
God. Guess those sirens are for you, huh? Good thing you found us. You're not the first to come through here by all...
This is the free man. The Combine's reckoning has come.
Look, we're just a lookout for the underground...
Thoughts on Death Stranding? Haven't played it yet. I don't know. I might pick it up and buy it. I've been buying a lot of things in general as of recently. And the reason is because I work a full-time job. Now, if you're wondering what my job is, don't be surprised by this, but it's fast food. I mean, what else, what other kind of business was going to hire me other than fast food, you know? I know you're all probably just laughing at me, but in this economy, you know, you see so many people working in fast food because no one else will hire them. And that's my experience this year. I spent like 10 months looking for a job. Because last year, in 2018, I used to work at a flower shop. I got laid off from my job within like 3 days because they said that I wasn't experienced enough. But my current job has lasted me 3 months, and I'm still hired. That's a good thing. Now, we all know about the low pay rates that fast food chains give out. It's a really bad thing. A lot of people can't afford a decent living, and they have to work 3 jobs. Now, I'm obviously not trying to dog on those people, and anyone who does dog on them is a fucking asshole, but for me personally, because I live with my parents and I don't pay any bills, it's not a bad paying job considering my circumstances, but I still don't like it, and that's all I gotta say.
This is Station 8. Sector 12, go down and out. The surgical strike units are targeting railway stations. Repeat, civil protection is coming down on underground stations.
These bastards don't even know I'm behind them. I didn't get my first job until I was 20 years old. So, yeah. Honestly, you shouldn't feel ashamed of what job you work unless it's truly horrible to work with, or if it doesn't pay you enough to make a decent living. Now, honestly, the jobs I've been wanting to work at are, like, at stores, but, you know, here's just a list of jobs that I've applied for. I've applied for other flower shops across town. I've applied to Walmart, and shockingly enough, they never responded to my applications. Like, they just don't give a shit. And I've applied to, well, mostly fast food places. I've also applied to, convenience stores. Took me 10 months to finally get a job. But I shouldn't really be complaining about this anymore. You know, as much as I dislike my job, it's better than being broke and not being able to afford the things you need. Because now I'm able to buy my own groceries. That being said, other people at my job more than likely can't, and that really sucks. I mean, just the whole idea of people not being able to afford a living working a full-time job, it's just baffling. And there are also just people who think that's acceptable for jobs to pay such measly wages. The thing I hate the most about my job is that it's fucking boring, you know? I gotta stand around, cook food, and, you know, I get a 30-minute break every day, which I do kind of enjoy, because that means I get 30 minutes to just sit back and relax. Fuck me, sometimes work just goes by so slowly that it's like torture. I'm gonna hit your ass with a crowbar. You brought a gun to a crowbar fight. Ah. Shit! Die! Where do I work? Nunio Beeswax. My god, someone just said capitalism sucks. Thank you. Thanks a lot for saying that. I'm gonna shut up because someone's gonna get really mad at me for saying that. But either way, you know, ever since I got my first paycheck and whatnot, I've been buying things every other day, you know? The first things I bought were just things I needed, like, well, first thing I bought was, like, I don't know. I had to buy a new operating system just to get, my graphics card to work. My computer currently is running on Windows 10. I previously had it running on Windows 8.1. I have a couple of mixed feelings about Windows 10, but either way, I'm just glad that my PC is running well. I'm going to fucking die. Ugh. But anyways, you know, the thing I like the most about work is the people there, you know? There are some really fun and relatable people there. There are also some people who are complete dicks who basically bully me. I'm a 21-year-old man and I'm still a victim of bullying, if you can believe that. And I'm fucking laughing about that because goddamn, I've just lost my mind. But most of the people there are cool, even though it's clear as day that their souls have been drained from boredom. Yeah, so basically I've got a couple new friends now. Basically, this stream is just going to be a slice of life commentary about SlayerCoon's miserable life. Okay, it's not as miserable as you might think it is. Ah! Yep, I'm gonna die. Ah. You know, I like the atmosphere of these, what would you call these? Sewers? Catacombs? I don't know. I like the atmosphere in this game a lot. You know? Just the mix of colors. The noises. You know... Oh my... Fuck! God. I didn't know there was an explosive barrel there. Or whatever it was. Ah! Alright, let me save. Oh yeah, so sounds get stuck if you pause the game while they're playing. That's weird. Okay. Back to the comment section. Someone asked me, what's my least favorite GTA game? Well, my least favorite GTA game that I've ever played would probably have to be GTA 2. I made a review on that. Not a very good review, but towards the end I sum up my thoughts perfectly. It just doesn't feel like a GTA game, and the PS1 version has some bullshit censorship in it. It has like a T rating, of all things. Now, imagine if Rockstar Games released GTA 6 and it had a T rating. That shit would flop harder than any of my videos. Practically no one would fucking buy that. And there would be riots in the streets of every major city on Earth. Because no one's gonna put up with that. You're taking away the thing that many people play GTA for, you know? Although, you know, it's also because of the immersive open world, you know, it's just... I don't know. Basically, I know there are worse GTA games out there, like the Game Boy Color GTA games, which are just pure shit, but GTA 2 just... it's not my kind of thing, you know? My favorite GTA game is a tie between, Vice City and San Andreas. I've been playing a lot of those as of recently on the PlayStation 4. As you know, they have them on the PlayStation Store. For some odd reason, though, a lot of the classic PS2 games aren't available on the PS Store, like the Sly Cooper games, the Ratchet & Clank games, the fucking Gran Turismo games. But they do have the GTA games, because those sold like hotcakes, and everybody bought them. My favorite GTA game of the HD era, though, I don't know. 4 and 5 are both good games, really good, but, well, both have their respective flaws, you know. 4 is just too realistic, and 5 is just too casual. And yes, Hexayene, there was a GTA game on the DS. It's called Chinatown Wars. And in my opinion, it's the most underrated game in the series. I mean, I have so many good memories of that game. You know, it has a nice classic GTA 1/2 vibe, and it's from a top-down perspective. The only thing that sucks about that game is that the soundtrack on the DS sucks, and there's no metal station. And since my throat is getting really dry, I'm gonna be right back. I need to go get myself something to drink. Hold on a sec. Yeah, and GTA 5 is just like a downgrade in many ways, you know? I've said many times in the past that it's a letdown, and while it's really good, it really is a letdown, you know? A weak soundtrack for the most part, an open world that would have been the best in the GTA series if only it had more interiors. Characters that are completely unlikable, and the satire that I really love about GTA has been watered down to being mostly sex jokes that you would expect from a 14-year-old. Fuck these man hacks. Favorite game of 2019? I don't have one, because I don't think I've played any of them. Yeah, I've been sleeping on the whole gaming scene, you know. I live in the past. And someone at work, I was talking about video games. You know, I always tell them, excuse me, that I like playing the classics. Now, obviously, there are good games being released. It's just, you know, there's so much boring stuff and shit games that are released nowadays that I'm just not interested. My favorite game of the decade would probably be Night in the Woods or something like that. Obviously, there are a lot of good indie games out there. Hopefully I can rectify that and, you know, start playing, you know, all the new games. Or at least the ones that aren't bullshit, you know. You see, most of this stream I've just been talking about things that aren't related to Half-Life. It's just an amalgamation of complaining about work and video games in general. But yeah, if I had to rate GTA 5, I don't know what rating I'd give it, you know? Ratings don't really matter, but it's so hard to choose a rating, you know, for that game. I would say, in spite of its many, many flaws, GTA Online is fun, even though the community sucks ass. You know? I like the fact that you get to customize your own character. You get to play as yourself, for once. Honestly, though, if GTA allowed you to play as a custom character in single-player mode, that would immediately make the Saints Row series invalid, and basically kill it. You know, my favorite open-world crime game of all time isn't even a GTA game, it's Saints Row 2. I should review that game sometime, because it's basically the best open-world game I've played ever. Maybe, I don't know. My tastes change every other week. Like, I don't have a set, like, favorite game, I just... You know, it changes a lot. Have I ever played a Sonic game before? Yes, but only once. And it was on the Sega Game Gear of all things. I think it was Sonic 2 or something like that. And I never managed to get past the first level because I was like 8 years old and I was stupid as shit. One thing that is good about being an adult is that now I'm really good at games. When I was a kid, I sucked. I could barely get past, like, opening levels. Oh yeah, I think I'm supposed to go this way. Oh my god, I'm gonna fucking die. Oh god, where's a fucking health pack? Here we go. Oh, I'm playing this on normal. Yeah. I like to have everything in between when it comes to difficulty. Not too hard, but not too easy. I remember the first time I played this part of the game not really liking it. I don't know. You know, the thing about games, the first time you play them, you suck at it, but by like the 10th playthrough, you know basically everything. I've always wondered what's back there. I saw a video of some dude who like hacked the game or something and went back there and found out that there was nothing. But yeah, I'm not gonna try doing that. I am not experienced enough to do that. And what do you think I am, some sort of cheater? I would never cheat the game, because that's also cheating yourself. I'm just kidding. Yeah, I'm gonna have to climb back up. You know, the thing about Half-Life 2 is it has you maneuvering these tight little objects that if you were doing in real life would be really hard. I mean, you couldn't just jump down from things like this. You'd have to, like, be all... I don't know, it's complicated. It's like climbing a tree or something like that. Huh. I'm confused. Oh yeah, I think... Yeah, that's how it works. Am I just doing something wrong? I think I've forgotten how to play this game. If I'm not mistaken. What I've got to do is concentrate. Yeah, alright. So, there's a... Oh. That's what you gotta do. I'm sorry about that. You see, I haven't played this game in, like, a long time. Last time I played it was, I had to play a bit of it, because, I had to record some footage from this game for my San Andreas review. And I only play the opening 30 minutes in that. You shoot the wood planks. Oh, that works. Well, you don't want to waste those useful bullets, do ya? You know, I hear a lot of people talking about Dark Souls and stuff, but I've never played it. The only thing I know about that game is all the memes surrounding it. And if anything, those just turn me off from playing the game. You know. Dark Souls is Undertale for men with just as unfunny memes? I don't get that. There's nothing about Dark Souls and Undertale that you can compare between. I mean, they're both games. Excuse me, that was gross. But I can't think of anything other than some parts are difficult. I don't know. Is Dark Souls really as difficult as people say it is? I don't know that because I've never played it. Skyrim is an objectively bad game. That depends on who you are, Hero. I mean, I've played Skyrim before and I didn't like it, but I don't think it's a bad game. I just think it's boring, I guess. You know, some games just aren't your kind of thing. They aren't bad, but you play them and you just don't get the same kind of feeling that other people get from them.
We got word you were coming. You got here at a bad time.
Black Mesa East to Station 6. Do you read?
I would say that Skyrim is really overhyped, though. Battletoads is better than Dark Souls, says Roland. Roland, I don't know. If I'm mispronouncing your names, I apologize for that. Ah! For a second, I thought I had the gravity gun, but then I realized you don't get that until like 1/3 way through the game. Ha! Hit him with a crowbar and he fucking dies. Will Games, that's such a terrible joke. That's so not funny.
Hey, Dr. Freeman. I've been hoping you'd show up. Got this airboat all gassed up and ready to go.
You know, the thing about extremely hard games is I can enjoy playing them, but I don't enjoy finishing them.
Just a few bends up the river. It's the old red barn. Climb on in. Fire her up.
You know, I'm not the kind of person who likes to say things like this, but, you know, you ever get the feeling that some people just, you know, are noobs when it comes to gaming? Like, their taste in gaming is, like, really shitty. I know someone at work who thinks that Call of Duty Ghost is, like, the second best COD game. Yeah, you know, the game that even the COD fanbase thinks is shitty. Yeah, it's kind of hard talking about video games at work because no one there shares my tastes. They're kind of into the, normie kind of stuff. Like, the thing about COD is I stopped playing Call of Duty, like, years ago, and I haven't really looked back since. I'm not the kind of person who thinks that they're the worst thing in gaming, but man, there's just better games you can play out there, you know? Like, the last Call of Duty game I ever bought was Modern Warfare 3, which disappointed me so much that it helped basically changed my taste in gaming from first-person shooters to everything else. It's one of those games that turned me off from an entire genre of video games. That and Battlefield 3, which I fucking hated. I'm not really here to talk about that, because screw those games. They're boring. Can I stop with the... Oh, excuse me, Hero. You're talking to that guy in the audience. The one who's making the stupid jokes. I'm gonna try jumping. Yeah, G-Man makes an appearance over there. If you look closely. I didn't see him. I think I know most of the G-Man appearances in this game. If you've never played Half-Life 2, you should play it. And most preferably on PC. I mean, yes, you can get it on PS3 or 360, but what is the point of playing those versions? I heard that the PS3 version has frame rate issues, which is weird because by the time it was ported to that console, there were games that looked a lot better than this one. No, I've got nothing against the way this game looks, but let's be honest, we were kind of really starting to get into the 7th generation. Basically, if you have a console that can, excuse me, a PC that can run this, which it shouldn't be hard to find one, download Steam and get this game. It runs well on low-spec systems. It's not all that demanding, so you shouldn't have trouble running it. Ha. Oh, fuck. Oh my god. How do I get this thing backside up? Oh my god. Oh my god. There we go. I've never seen that happen before. For a second I thought I was gonna have to reload a previous checkpoint or kill myself. What's gonna be my next review? I don't know. Maybe this? One game I really want to review, and one I've been planning on reviewing for a long time now, is Spyro 3. If I get a capture card for the PS4, I could do that. And since it's one of my favorite games ever, probably gonna be a long one. But I don't know what my next review is gonna be. If anything, my next video is probably not going to be a review. It's like every 3 months I need to make a video that revitalizes my channel's analytics. Because the only videos that will get over 1,000 views are my bad YouTubers videos, which is sad. You know, these glass physics are still pretty impressive to this day, you know. There are some games now that still don't have quite the level of physics as this game. Will games, yes, I do remember when I had a pentagram profile pic. The one with the red raccoon. The reason I stopped using that is because I decided, back around May of 2018, I came out and admitted to the internet that I am a furry. Shockingly enough, I didn't lose all that many fans because of that announcement. Although there are people who hate me because of that. I do know I used that little red raccoon on the what is it? The album, the cover art for the Rotten Raccoon, that song I made. The thing is, there's no real reason to be in the closet about being a furry anymore. Well, maybe there is, but I don't know. Nowadays, furries are more accepted than they were, I don't know, 5 years ago or something. Because I remember when furries were despised, you know? I mean, there still are people who have really stupid assumptions about furries because they think fur affinity somehow single-handedly represents the entire furry fandom, which it doesn't. I'm a furry, and I don't think I like fur affinity that much. Oh, here's a cool trick. You can pick up a barrel, and they won't shoot at you. God damn it! Yep, I'm gonna die. Normally the AI in this game is really good, but not now. You place a barrel in front of yourself and they're all like, they just forget that you even exist. So yeah, I have a fursona. It's in the thumbnail of the video. I've had a couple people make fan art, but I don't get that often because I'm not popular. But yeah, I came up with that... Ignore my dog. I came up with that design, like, when I was, I don't know, 15 or something. The red hair and whatnot. Yeah, this happens a lot on my streams. My dog will find someone to bark at. I live in an apartment complex, and, you know, there'll be people walking by, and then, Maddie's my dog, by the way, will see them, like, through the window and start barking at them. It can be annoying. But it's almost guaranteed to happen in most of my live streams. I used to be an edgelord back in the day. Well, kind of, sort of, you know. Like, I'm not the kind of edgelord who uses 4chan or anything, but, like, I used to be really angsty back in my earlier days. You could tell if you go watch those older videos of mine where, like, I'm talking in a really quiet voice and I sound like I hate myself and whatnot. The old ones from 2016 and also 2017 too. But yeah, I used to be pretty angsty in my older videos. Go watch the old DeviantArt Disasters videos of mine, and then compare it to what I make now, and you'll see what I'm talking about. I just used to be a lot more negative, in general. Is there a health pack around here? No, this game is not free roam. It's actually kind of linear. But I don't think that's a bad thing, because it uses its linearity to its benefit. Like, the level design in general is really good, the atmosphere is good. The story isn't quite obvious on your first playthrough, but if you go do some research on some wikis, you'll find out that this game has a pretty good story. It just doesn't tell it to you. It doesn't make it obvious. You know, honestly, the thing about me being a furry is that, you know, I'm not completely really active within the community. I'm just someone who has a fursona, and I like a lot of furry artwork. Not the nasty kind of stuff, obviously, but you know, there's a lot of furries out there who are really good artists. Basically, furries deserve respect, most of them at least. Oh yeah, 357. And I'm gonna stop using that because there's not a lot of bullets for it. God, I fucking hate man hacks so much. So yeah, as Will Games said, I work in fast food. It sucks. What's funny about some of my earlier videos is I would talk shit about furries, even though deep down inside I knew I was a furry. I just couldn't deny it, you know? What being a furry means exactly, well, I don't know. I guess having a, like, basically having an anthropomorphic animal as a persona, it can mean a lot of different things. For me, it just means that, I represent myself on the internet through a red-haired raccoon. He didn't recognize me under... Fuck. Die! Die! Ah. Oh god. Is there any health packs back here? I don't know, maybe I should turn down the difficulty for just once. I don't want to get stuck at this part. Thank God, some fucking health. This machine gun sounds like shit. It just doesn't sound powerful enough. Like, it doesn't sound loud enough. Then again, I don't think it's firing actual physical bullets, so... Ah, yes, I gotta find a way to open that. I think there's a switch back here. Yep. What is my favorite soda? Well, it's a bad time to ask that, because I don't drink soda anymore, because it's bad for you. What I drink now is, like, tea, if I want something sweet. Because right now, I think I might hate soda a little bit, you know? I just can't stand drinking it. I mean, that used to not be the case, but... yeah. What I do is I watch my calories so I don't get fat. And soda has, noticeably more calories than stuff like tea or whatnot. Or water. I'm gonna be honest, this canal section goes on for a little bit too long, in my opinion. It's definitely not the best part of the game, in my opinion. I think a lot of other people feel the same way about it. Oh, and here comes the music. Yeah, Half-Life 2 has a pretty damn good soundtrack. I have it turned down low with most of the volume because I need to be able to hear myself, but Half-Life 2 has a pretty damn kickin' soundtrack. Basically, the thing I think I like the most about this game is the way the levels progress from each other and the level design in general. Like, each and every section of the game is largely different and does not feel the same. Basically, the levels don't blend in with each other. And then again, it's hard to argue if this game has, like, levels in general, because basically you're going down a path and it just changes and whatnot, you know? This game has 0 cutscenes. It's all... fuck, it's all in-engine. So you don't have any part of the game where the control is being taken away from you. I think I might end the stream sometime after I reach Black Mesa East. I don't know. Squid 4001 asks me, what do I think of more popular games such as Fortnite and whatnot? Well, here's the thing about Fortnite, you know? I've seen some people trying to defend it, and those who just claim that people who hate Fortnite are stupid or whatnot. Now, Fortnite isn't a bad game, exactly, but the thing is, it's so overexposed that some people just have no choice other than to hate it, even if it isn't the most logical thing. So I don't think it's a bad game, but I do think that those who dislike it, they have their reasons. And as for me, I've never played it, but probably wouldn't be my kind of thing.
I wouldn't believe it if I couldn't see it with my own eyes. Dr. Gordon Freeman himself.
Everyone in this game acts like Gordon Freeman is some sort of celebrity. Like he's the greatest man on Earth.
We're just getting ready to pull out.
I guess he really is, though.
Gotta tear down this camp and get out of here.
Greetings to the free man.
Come on in. I'll show you what you're up against. Here, take a look at this. This here's the dam. It's just up ahead. Eli's hideout is here, a stone's throw from the apron and nestled in the old hydro plant. But getting there, with that hunter chopper on your ass, next to impossible. Good news is, the Vortigaunt's working his magic on your airboat, so you'll have a little more firepower going forward. I think he's just finishing up now. Go on out.
If I get my PS1 emulator working right. Might try live streaming Gran Turismo 2 in the near future. That'd be really fun. This live chat's not really all that active right now.
Give 'em hell, Doc.
Well, I think we're almost there. I will say I like the last few parts of the canal section. You know, it's just it's a relief when you finally get it over with, because it does outstay its welcome. Oh god, these bastards are everywhere. Oh yeah, why am I leaving my boat behind? What am I thinking? God, I just can't wait to get this all over with. I mean, someone during playtesting should have, you know, thought to themselves, hey, this canal section goes on for a little bit too long, don't you think you should shorten it up? But I guess it was a bit too late into development for them to do that, so, yeah. Will I be continuing the stream tomorrow? I think I might be doing so. I really should just live stream more often in general. You know, it's really fun to do so. Alright, I think we're... Yep, we're here. This is the part where we take the chopper down. I just remembered I have this on easy. I'll be sure to revert it when I'm done with this. I will say, that is one gorgeous sunset right there. I love a nice nuclear sunset. That's just part of the reason this conclusion is so satisfying. How many fucking bombs do you have in that thing? It's like this bitch has got infinite ammo. Did we get him? Yep. You know, I just thought about something, you know? The year ends, you know, tomorrow night, like... The year's almost over, the decade's almost over, and honestly, I just don't even care. All I'm hoping is, you know... There might be some interesting content in store for 2020, like different games I could review. Obviously, there's that part of my fan base that wants me to do nothing but bad YouTubers, but I've grown so bored with it, you know. You know, other than graphics, I think sound design in this game is really good, too. Just the ambient background noises, you know, really adds to the immersion. Am I supposed to be... Yeah. I found him! See? I found him! Aw, shit. Oh well. Just gonna have to go back around. You know, honestly, Half-Life 2 just doesn't look like a game that was made in 2004. It looks like it was really ahead of its time. It's like Valve knew what they were doing with this game. Oh man, this live stream's getting boring because no one's talking anymore except for me. But yeah, when we get to Black Mesa, which I think is just around the corner, yeah, I'll end this live stream. But not before I play one of my beautiful songs. Because as you know, I've been getting into music recently and no one listens to it, but whatever. I mean, this game is just ahead of its time in so many aspects, like... fuck. Like, the graphics were amazing, the physics were amazing. I mean, before this, there weren't all too many games with ragdoll physics in them. So I think this game popularized ragdoll physics, you know? And then 4 years later, GTA 4 came around and perfected ragdoll physics, before GTA 5 decided to water them down. For no reason. But yeah, I'm finally here, so, it's been about a 2-hour-long live stream. That's how long, my streams usually are. But yeah, I'm gonna save the game right here, and we will come back to this game tomorrow. Alright. So yeah, am I gonna beat the whole game live? I don't know about that. I don't usually do that, although I might continue that sometime next year. That's just around the corner, so I'm looking excited to that. So, what I wanted to play was a song of mine called Magnum Opus. If you checked out songs from the digital age on Bandcamp, you'd know that was included as a bonus track. So what I wanted to do was basically preview that, because I'm planning on uploading it as a single to YouTube. Alright, so this is the thumbnail. Let me stretch that out. It's a song called Magnum Opus, and it's a very 1980s sounding kind of song, basically. It has a nice 80s vibe to it, and it's a long song. It's about 5 minutes or so. So I'm gonna play that in its entirety right about now. So that will be the last you hear of me. At least for this stream. I ain't gonna die. So, let's have a listen to this. So yeah, that was my song Magnum Opus. The fun thing about that is that was made back in 2015. So yeah. Yeah, only 7 people are watching. Where is the 11,400 people that follow me? I don't know. Most of them left me. They don't even really watch this channel anymore. I mean, yeah, I say that my channel's dead a lot, but yeah, it kinda is. I don't really care, you know? I do this because it's fun. I'm glad that you people like that song. Either way, I will continue this Half-Life 2 live stream sometime tomorrow. Obviously sometime before the year ends. Tomorrow's probably gonna be a really busy day for me, but, you know. Anyways, thanks for watching. This has been SlayerCoon, signing out. I'll see you guys next time.